If you are looking for an interesting way to put rudiments on drum set, then you are in luck. This is the right video for you, because in this video, I'm going to show you how to take drag paradiddle number 1 and turn it into a groove in 7. If you like that, remember to like and subscribe to come back and get more of this kind of content every Tuesday. I've taught well over 1,000 drum lessons to people just like you, and I can show you too. I'm Gabriel, and you are watching the YouTube channel of DrumTipTuesday.com. All right, let's get into this thing. Sticks in hand, and here we go. You know how we do it. We do it on the drum pad first to get a feeling for the rudiment, and then we go back on the kit. The rudiment, speaking of which, is drag paradiddle number 1. In case you don't know, now you will know. It is an accent into a drag, into a paradiddle. Then you go to the left, accent on the left, drag off the right this time, and then a paradiddle off the left. When I start getting this moving a bit, it sounds like it's in 3. All right, when I play it, it's a nice way to practice it. Right now it sounds kind of like a mess, but if we put it to some time, as such, it sounds like this. Right, so how are we going to take that and turn it into 7? Well, I'll tell you. We're going to take that drag, right, and we're going to even it out. Even it out in volume, and especially even it out in rhythm. So then that drag, which is like 2 little notes over the space of maybe 1/16th note when we're playing like that, it's going to be 2 full 16th notes. So you're going to have 7 strokes in the whole thing. You're going to have that accent, the 2 drags, the paradiddle, 1, 2, 3, 4 more notes, makes your 7, right? What I'm going to do now is perform a sort of time warp etude, if you will. I'm going to take this thing, play it in 3 the way we just were, and then I'm just going to slowly start to spread out those drags so that you can hear how it kind of turns into 7, then we'll actually play it in 7. But here we go. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, right? You can hear how that kind of works, right? Let's take this now and, well, I like it in 7/8. I like the way this thing does 7/8. Let's do it in 7/8 or just 7, and you'll hear how it fits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So how are we going to turn this into a drum groove, all right? Well, we're going to do a very simple thing. Going to take the right hand, put it on the hi-hat, left hand, put it on the snare drum, and put in a little bit of kick drum. How are we going to do that? Boom, just like this. That music that you see right there. You can see in the first bar, you have, obviously in the hands, you can see the X's where the hi-hat is. You can see the solid note heads on the snare drum line, and you have 1 accent, very important, forming a sort of halftime backbeat right in the middle of the bar in 7. And that's why I like this thing so much. You get something that kind of breaks that trend of, I know for me, and a lot of other drummers I hear, where every time we go to play in 7, we do 2 + 2 + 3 over and over again. And the backbeat's always some sort of like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And we do that thing where we go in between for a backbeat, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, you know? This is kind of neat, and then it allows you, or provides for you, an opportunity to cut the bar exactly in half. So you have that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Nope, actually you have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I like to count it like that. And then you start the second 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 off the left hand. So it's kick, snare, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That backbeat comes in right before 5, right? It kind of cuts the bar right in half. Specifically then you just have that kick drum right on beat 1, and then I guess the snare drum right before 5. Yeah? Yeah. Let's take a listen to it on the drums right now. Let us take that same exact thing and get a variation on that. Just going to move the right hand to the ride cymbal. All right? Now, check out how that can freak you out. Same exact pattern. If you're comfortable playing it on the hi-hat, because the timbre of the unaccented notes on the snare drum and the hi-hat fit real nice together, it's kind of easy. When you move your right hand to the ride cymbal or your lead hand to the ride cymbal, or whatever other sound source, cowbell, woodblock, etc., it kind of freaks you out because now you're going to hear the one hand pattern really popping out of that thing. And let's take a listen to it at 3 different tempos right now. For this next variation, it really doesn't matter if you have your hand on the hi-hat or the ride cymbal or whatever, you choose. But we're just going to exploit those 2 groupings. You can see how it's grouped in 3/16 notes, 4/16 notes, 3/16 notes, 4/16 notes. And we're going to take the beginning of each one of those and do it on the kick or the snare drum. The first set of 3 and 4, it starts with the kick. The second set of 3 and 4 is with the snare drum. Let's take a listen to what that sounds like. All right, now, you're starting to get kind of fancy, right? And things are starting to heat up. You're starting to feel this thing like it's an actual song, like you're actually making some music, which you should always be thinking of with all these different things. Let's take this and apply a way to get back and forth in between two different parts of the song. Let's say that like the verse of the song is on the hi-hat. You're on the hi-hat for the verse of the song. Let's say the chorus of the song is on the ride cymbal. How do you get back and forth? You know, still kind of young or still kind of new at this thing. You want to keep the hand motion the same so that you have something you can play and then be in a different part of the song without necessarily breaking the hand motion, right? So what we're going to do is a drum fill based on the exact same hand motion. 2 bars you can see right there. This first bar is going to look exactly like the variation that we just got done learning. This second bar right here is going to provide us with an opportunity to move the right hand around the drums a little bit. Now I roll 1 up, 2 down. It doesn't matter if you roll 2 up, 1 down, however you have your toms. Just move your hand around to the right. You're going to add another snare drum accent, and it makes a nice fill. It feels like it builds off of the kick and snare variation we learned in the previous example. Take a listen to me playing this now. I'm going to play that at 3 different tempos, and then when I get it moving, I'm just going to play, all right? I'm going to play around and just make it sound kind of like I'm playing one part of the song. Then I'm going to use that drum fill to get to the other part of the song, or little imaginary song in my head. The kind of thing that I hope that you aspire to with this material. Let's take a listen to all of that jazz. But before we go on, just a question. What's your favorite rudiment to put on the drum set? No wrong answer here. Just comment below. Curious what you're thinking out there. Your favorite rudiment on a complete set of drums. If you like the content that I share here on YouTube, then click the link in the description to subscribe to drumtiptuesday.com. There you will find detailed masterclasses, in-depth coursework, drumless tracks and more that I only share on drumtiptuesday.com. Remember to like, subscribe, and check out one of these videos next.